Hi, it's Saturday, September 28th, 2019. I'm Tony Padgett, and this is week 9 of my Noom weight loss program. Well, the last video, I said that I would come back to you all a week later with an update. However, not a lot really went on that week. I lost, I think, roughly about 2 pounds. There wasn't really much new to share with the viewer. So I decided to skip last week's reporting and report 2 weeks later, just to give you an overview of what's happening on a longer term perspective rather than a day-to-day perspective. We've already talked about the day-to-day ups and downs, how the app works, and how certain aspects I like, certain aspects I don't like. I thought we would focus now more on the longer term, what's going on with the changes that are happening from the new program, how that's impacting my weight loss, rather than give you a play-by-play update. So with that, let's look at the current stats. My current weight is 252.2 pounds. That is a drop of 6 pounds from the last time I checked in 2 weeks ago, and I'll break that down for you in a moment on the chart. And that's a total loss from the beginning of 12.2 pounds. With the 2 weeks that I took off, I think that's rather respectable. But again, I'm not dissatisfied with the overall results of the program overall. So let's look at the chart. So looking at the chart, you can definitely see how I gained over the 2 week period that I was talking about when I was off the plan, no exercise, no plan, just eating and drinking what I like. The reason was I was on a business trip on the West Coast, as well as seeing my family. So I just decided to not be on the plan whatsoever and just kind of enjoy myself. However, I did say the last time I checked in on the video that I thought that last weekend, the next week, the week later, which is really a week before now, if that makes any sense, I was hoping I'd be around where I left off before I went off plan for those 2 weeks and be around the 252 to 253 mark. Well, I didn't make that. Matter of fact, I didn't really make that weight till just today, where I came in at 252.2. It's less than the 253.4 before I went off the plan, but I was around 254 yesterday. So what does this mean in a nutshell? Well, it means that the amount of time it took you to gain weight will not necessarily be the same amount of time it takes you to lose the amount of weight you gained. I hope that makes sense. For example, I gained 9 pounds in 2 weeks, and it took me roughly 3 weeks to lose that. Now, this is important to know that since if you do decide to take a break from the program, just keep in mind that you will need to increase your time to get to your goal weight by roughly 125 to 150% of the amount of time you will be off the program. At least this is what I'm seeing here in this small way, in this small example. Who knows? Maybe you might be different, but I'm guessing this is roughly around right. So 2 weeks off the program, if you say, well, I'm going to take 2 weeks off the program. Okay, fine, but you need to shift your goal weight timing by about 4 to 5 weeks out. Yeah? So 2 weeks off means roughly 4 weeks to get back to where you were, which means you add 4 weeks onto your program, or 5 weeks, roughly speaking. Hope that makes sense. So other than the weight loss that you've seen on the chart, I'd like to give you kind of 2 thoughts or 2 principles that I've learned from this weight loss program and the weight loss program I did in MedEffect. Probably more this one. I learned a little bit from the little blurbs that come up from time to time. First of all, exercising is good. I think you definitely should do 30 minutes a day of exercise, something cardiovascular. Weightlifting, I've heard that helps, but I haven't done weightlifting quite a long time. But anyway, 30 minutes a day. But the amplifier, the thing that helps enhance your overall weight is walking a minimum of 3,000 steps a day. A minimum. And here's why I say that. I've noticed that when I just do exercise and I'm working from home and I'm not commuting into work, and that I'm not walking as much. I'm below 3,000 steps a day. That I don't lose as much, or I may stay the same as the day before. So there's something there about, or I lose. Let me rephrase that. I tend to lose more when I exercise and I do the walking. So when I notice that when I do go to the office, I have to walk to the shuttle here, get off the shuttle, walk to the station. I'm standing for quite a bit of time, walking upstairs from the subway, walking down to the office, coming back, walking at the office, walking to the bathroom, etc. When I do that, it tends to enhance or amplify the amount of weight I lose. So exercise plus walking, I think is good. Exercising alone, I think is good is okay. You should definitely do it. I think walking by itself and no exercise, I think you'll see a slower progression. I think both of those together somehow it seems to speed up your metabolism. It seems to help maybe make the food digest. I don't know what's going on. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist, but all I do know is that when I do those both together, they tend to amp. And of course, I'm burning more calories by doing that. But I think there's a multiplier effect when you have those two together. The second principle or thought I have to share with you today is there will be some days where you don't lose any weight at all. So this happened on the MetaFast program as well when I was down to 1,200 calories a day, rather than right now where I'm 1,900 calories a day. That there will be a day or two or even three where you're just kind of on the scale, it's just kind of not moving. Or it might even go up a bit. And you're going, what the heck's going on? And then suddenly you'll get a drop. Like I just noticed that this week. And then 2 or 3 days in a row, I was kind of on the same weight scale. I even went up a little bit, went down, but I was like 0.2 pounds range, right? And then suddenly overnight from yesterday to today, I'm down about a pound, 2.5 pounds. Just a drop. I think what's happened is the body, again, there's something digestion. It's holding on to the weight. I don't know what metaphor to use here, but all I can tell you is from experience is that it will eventually happen. Don't let yourself get frustrated by it's not moving, it's not moving. 2 or 3 days later, you will notice that drop. It will happen. If you're sticking to your plan, if you're exercising, if you're walking, that's my new thing now, walking. I can thanks Noom for bringing that into my exercise and my overall regime. I think that's a good point. Keep that in mind that those will be frustrating days, and then there will be very nice, pleasing Zip Rising day where you go, my God, I lost 2.5 pounds in one day. How did that happen? I don't know, but it does. So that's all for this report. I am going to have our next report roughly a month from now. It'll be the last day of the program because, again, I think you're not so interested in the day by day anymore. I'm giving those insights. I think you're going to want to see what happens at the end of the program. We'll discuss the my overall thoughts about the Noom program, the app, how I've lost the weight, and we'll decide what to do from there. Should we stay on the program? Should I stay on the program? Or should I try something different, like go back to the MyFitnessPal and just track calories? Let's find out next time I check in. Until then, take care. See you then.